We all have childhood trauma, and I don't take it out on strangers at a summer house.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, and solo for the past month, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hi!
Yay!
Hi, everyone. I am Ramona Ramirez Higgins. Margie, I can't tell you, I have goosebumps, just hearing you say our intro and looking at your face right now. I am just so ecstatic to see you.
And I cannot believe I took off for 4 weeks and everything imploded. So when last we spoke, West was a hero, and Amanda was a victim of Kyle. And within days of that last time we recorded together, all of this Amanda stuff broke, and it's been nonstop. The news breaking, the appearances, the podcast, it's just
the reunion leaks,
the revenge looks, all of it. It's
all of it.
It's been bonkers. I'm still wrapping my head around it. Each time I watch these episodes, I'm like, fucking really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like you said on the phone, because I haven't seen you we haven't done the podcast, in some time, but we've talked on the phone a couple of times, and we've texted. But when you said it's like watching two different shows, it's so true. We're watching what they're giving us, and we also know what's going on in real life. And it is the best time I've ever had watching Bravo. And I have friends that are not into Summer House or don't watch Bravo, and they are starting because of this.
It's like a play within a play. It's like everyone is after it's just, or at least, I don't know. And it's so hard to keep track of no, but Kyle is still wrong a lot of the time. He was still a very bad partner. But I can't get over how furious I am at the betrayal trauma Amanda has inflicted on Ciara. So I get so lost in who's the villain anymore? I don't even know. All I know is I love Carl. He could do no wrong.
Yeah, I do love Carl. I love Carl. In fact, I know I've talked about that goddamn soft bar hat that I want for so many times now. And I check the website. I check the merch page on the soft bar website just for shits and giggles. Let's be honest. What I'm fucking procrastinating, I'm like, oh, what's up with every single piece of merchandise was sold out. Now there's one T-shirt that's in stock, and I'm like, I don't want a T-shirt that says drinks with benefits. I don't give a shit. I want the OG soft bar hat with the terrible typeface.
I love that you've come full circle on that.
I am obsessed with it. I will get it. I'm so bummed. The other day, I've started working out again. I've started working out with a trainer again. It's a whole long ADHD riddled story. No one needs to fucking know about it. My point is that I was so excited because I saw a woman in the gym wearing a Giggly T-shirt. And I was like, oh my God, I have so few people to talk to with Bravo up here. And so I asked her, I'm like, oh my God, do you watch Summer House? She's like, no, I just listened to the podcast. And I was like, what the fuck? People listen to Paige and Hannah who don't watch Bravo. And I fine, great. I don't know that pipeline. I only know you go in through Bravo. That's my pipeline.
Yeah. But they haven't been on Bravo for a while now, I guess probably just a year.
Well, Paige just a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, this season has felt like at least 2 seasons in one. So it's felt like a weird eternity, even though it's only been a year. Yeah.
Totally. Watching this episode, more than even the episode where they had the VIP Vegas party, Wes and Amanda are truly taking advantage of the situations they find themselves in to further their relationship and their agenda. And I think it's diabolical. And everything I've said in the last 4 or 5 weeks is a fever dream now, but I'm pretty sure I've stated my opinion. I know I've said it to you, that these two started, like they started months before they went back to tape season 10. I'm convinced of it. If I'm wrong, I will absolutely say I'm wrong, but I look at the two of them and I'm like, oh my God, this episode for sure.
They were definitely distracted with one another. But that's the problem with a liar. I'll just never know. I'll never believe anything either one of them says about if or when it started, when or where. So it will always be a mystery because even if they tell us, they're both liars. So I don't know what's true.
Yeah.
A therapist once told me that like an affair requires all three parties in order to sustain itself. And once, one partner or the other is gone, it falls apart. So I guess my point is that it feels like West and Amanda's kink is the secretive nature of this. And like the way he moves his chair over, but nobody knows, but she knows. The way they hug a little too long and he holds the back of her head, the same way he held Ciara's head. Ew, gross. Like
disgusting.
And then in this episode, telling his ex, like, that's the hottest outfit. Sweet. I was like, oh, you are a mess, dude. And I don't know if it's sex and love addiction because he seems to be getting high on attention, which is a symptom of that affliction, but he's certainly causing wreckage. So it doesn't seem like this is without harm anymore. It's normal to like sex, love, and attention. But when you start sacrificing other human beings for the sake of like your shits and giggles, then you're West Wilson and you're a creep.
It's so wild. It's so wild. I can't believe we get front row seats to it. I don't know what they're going to show us in the finale, but I can't wait.
Yeah.
When they closed out season 9 and they picked cameras back up in December to touch base on Craig and Paige breaking up, what's the black title card with the dramatic music going to say? What's it going to show in this in this scenario, in this season? Oh, God. What history.
This show is so good because even aside from all the scandalous West and Amanda crap, it's still a great show. Like I still
100%.
give a shit about Bailey, Kyle,
so much.
KJ, Mia, like everybody. I'm 100% invested across the board. There isn't a single scene where I'm like, fast forward, fast forward. Whereas in Scandival, like anytime Lala was on the screen, I was like, move it along. I don't care. Let's get to Raquel.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, Ariana and Tom. But yeah, this is still entertaining. Tip to taint.
Tip to taint is right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's do it. Let's get back into it. Margie, I'm so excited to talk about this with you. We're going to be talking about season 10, episode 15 of Summer House called Full House. Full House. Okay.
Everybody's there, man. Everybody's there.
So we resume on August 30th at 10:09 p.m. And this is post-dinner party fight. Kyle has just left the front door. He's taken a can of Loverboy and tossed it at the front door. Whether he's thrown it at Carl or just thrown it, TBD, but Carl is following him. And remember, West is sitting next to Amanda at this point, inside,
having moved
at
his
the table.
chair like the hero he is.
So gross, dude. So gross.
And then we just get like kind of a sad, reductive fight between Kyle and Carl. It's just two people at their wits' end flipping out. And like, we've all been there saying shit that, just saying shit that we know will hurt the other person. And hearing Carl talking shit about his DJ career and you're a fucking loser. However, Carl did say, you got to focus on yourself. And I was like, ooh, it's hard to pull that out of, the pile of crap that he just shat all over his friend. But like, he had a point. Kyle's never going to be happy until he tries to make himself happy. Loverboy didn't do it. Amanda didn't do it. DJing's not going to do it. Divorce isn't going to do it. Nothing's going to do it, dude. You got to like sit down and give a shit about tending to your own self and soothing your own self.
It's 100% true. He said multiple times, look inside, look inside.
Mm-hmm.
He was angry, but he did. I was so disappointed in Kyle. I was so disappointed in Kyle's weapons of choice.
Vagisil.
Vagisil. There was a lot of misogyny going on in this episode that I was not cool with. I was not
but
cool
it was not
with
it was
at
not
all.
sober, and I am not one to pretend like I have not lost my damn mind. Instead, really stupid, offensive shit in the heat of like a breaking point,
Yeah.
And Vagisil, I At least he's shouted out a name brand.
But more than that, like, yo, you're so sensitive. Carl's been he's so sensitive. Like, who really? That's what we're going to use as a put down, Kyle?
But both of them, and same with Carl. You're a loser, you fucking loser. That's rude. But they immediately took it back. They both just boiled over, and I don't know. It's something I like about this show is that it's really human. And being human is fucking messy and ugly, and there's so much to apologize for along the way. And I kind of loved this because they have this stupid fight on the lawn, like, hit me, man. I'm like, you guys are not going to fucking fist fight, but okay. And then 5 minutes later, they're like in the quiet of a bedroom hugging and crying. And like, but I do think sometimes it takes me getting to that level of anger and outrage to be like, ew, I hate myself right now. What's really going on with me? And then circling back to the person, hopefully having not done too much damage to say like, this is really about something else. And I think he said it, my life is falling apart. Someone suggested a separation and I don't find myself vehemently opposed. And that is devastating. It's fucking devastating.
So true. It's so true. At one point, Kyle calls Carl a 6'5" motherfucker. And I'm like, merch incoming, dude. I would wear that so fast. I would wear it.
I want a Carl's a Mess sweatshirt like nobody's business.
Well, they are on hella back order
right now.
I
know.
Yeah, they are on hella back order. And everyone on the Reddit in the Summer House subreddit is like, where's my goddamn merch? I ordered it in April.
A comment like you 6'5" motherfucker is how I know that this fight is not about what they're trying to make this fight about on the lawn.
Sure.
That's not an insult. It's a statement of fact. And it's just like, what is your point?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that he's 6'5" and like he's the most fragile, blah, blah, blah. But like he is. And I love Carl because he doesn't hide that. And like, look at you, Kyle. You have a full on meltdown every 5 minutes. And I loved Carl, when he went to talk to Amanda saying like, how many times has he had a meltdown at the table? A fist slamming, screaming, crying meltdown. Remember the year when he wound up on a neighbor's porch? Like they were at dinner, and I think that was the one when he was like, some of us are dealing with real life shit. And then he got up from the dinner table and sat on some porch next door, and it was like a private home.
I don't remember that.
Maybe
That's so funny. But I'm rewatching, and
he sure has a track record of this shit.
Yeah. For the people that are just watching Summer House for the very first time, again, welcome. Take a seat. The water is fabulous. Kyle freaking out at a dinner is absolutely at least going to happen once, maybe twice, possibly 3 times, just depending on the circumstances. The COVID season, for sure, multiple freakouts. God, Kyle. Oh, Kyle. You don't have to live like that, buddy. You don't have to. But
it takes what it takes.
It does take what it takes. It does.
He is kind of plummeting to a rock bottom right in front of our eyes, and he even says it. My life is falling apart,
Ay. So everyone has come, most people have come to the front yard. When Lindsay hears Carl start fighting, she jumped up and she went out there to try and intervene very, very quickly, as opposed to West, who kind of like lumbers into the foyer with a bottle of rosé, looks around like, do I really have to go out here and deal with these guys? It was so wild.
Yeah, but I did appreciate West, though. Again, this is where it's so confusing, because at one point, Kyle's like, Carl talks shit behind my back all the time. And West is like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. West is right. And I do believe Carl, and I know that Jesse used it as like a shit-talky tee-hee thing. Like Carl wrote a letter about Kyle not investing in Loverboy and how badly that hurt him and didn't send it. Well, that is a fucking healthy tool in therapy in 12-step rooms where
100%.
You write it out. And then once all the emotion is out, you see in Al-Anon, like the number one question you're to ask yourself is, how important is it? And like, it's just fucking not, like Carl worked through it to the point where that is not the most important thing, because Kyle has supported him in a million other ways. And like, keeping the fucking cosmic scoreboard and putting finances on it. You gave me this, so you owe me that. Like, that's not a fucking friendship. So Carl worked it out, and he didn't talk shit behind Kyle's back. And anything he said behind Kyle's back, he has said to his face. Certainly now after this fight.
I did praise West for saying that as well. He's not doing that. But he also reminds him, bro, you missed the anniversary of his brother's passing. And that's when Kyle says, yeah, well, I missed my dad's birthday the week before. Like, Kyle is really, he's out of his mind.
Well, Wes
He's
doesn't even
out of
get
his
the
mind
words out.
distraction.
He's like, well, you know, he's also upset about, and Kyle fills in the blank and goes, the fucking brother. It's like, oh, yeah, the dead one that died of an
Yeah.
overdose in a gutter recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's mad about that.
Yeah.
And not just that you missed reaching out to him, but that you made a special post for Lindsay's birthday. Like, there's a lot, Kyle. There's actually a lot
There
there.
is.
So you can dismiss it. And also, to me, that defense of like, oh, yeah, well, I also forgot my dad's birthday. If I had been standing there, I'd be like, wow, it sounds like you're in crisis.
Right.
All the people you love have become secondary to what? Are you okay? No, you're not okay. As someone who
Yeah.
loves you, you're not okay.
He's knee deep in it. It's so, oh my God. Kyle tells West, you don't even know what my freak out is about, because nobody knows. Nobody knows at that table except for Ciara, Kyle, and Amanda. But even Amanda doesn't know that Kyle knows that at the beach earlier that day is when Ciara said, hey, Kyle, by the way, I talked to your wife last week about the possibility. Like, what about the possibility of you guys separating for a month? And his wife hasn't talked to him about that. Ciara has. And he's learned from Ciara that his wife is open to that idea. So nobody knows. And I do think West also says you're mad at Lindsay, to be honest. Now, I think that West found it very convenient to blame it on Lindsay because, again, at this point, I think that Amanda and West have something going on. So let's just deflect, distract. Let's point fingers elsewhere. But nobody knows what Kyle knows about what his wife wants to do, which is leave him for a month.
I have a hard time listening to how Kyle talks about Amanda. She doesn't care if I'm gone for 7 days or 2 days. She hates me. I have a hard time believing that that idea is such a surprise. I think what's hitting him is the reality of that has to happen now. It's never going to work. Like, he tried all summer to have a good summer. And when he's with Amanda, he cannot accomplish that. And I think that is what's landing. And he's trying to blame everyone else, but it's just heartbreak, you know?
Yeah. And West is just all too happy to have Lindsay take the heat instead of Amanda take the heat, though.
Yes, true.
You know?
However, I will say Lindsay drives me insane. I can't stand her usually. This episode, in the aftermath of this blow up fight, I saw why everyone loves Lindsay. The way she spoke with Kyle, the way she spoke with Carl, I was like, oh, I see where she is soft, you know, what Carl always asked more of from her. She does care. She is aware, telling Kyle, I know you feel abandoned and you can imagine your wife feels the same when you XYZ. And with Carl telling him, like, just take a deep breath, look at me. Like, that's useful shit.
Yes, I agree. And I also think that when she first started, I don't think she had positive intent.
Oh, I don't think so at all. I'm saying after it became an explosive near physical fight, she became a version of her that is not the reality TV character, Lindsay, that is a more complete version of a person that I've literally never seen before, even with her daughter. It always feels like a show.
And you don't think it was because she felt guilty because she knows that she lit the match?
Maybe.
And she was just doing damage control?
Sure, that might be what motivated it, but it still at least rung true. She could have been like another reality star and egged it on and got them to fight and hit and get the season finale that the producers want. But I could see her real care for the people and that she didn't want it coming to blows. Like, she did clearly want to instigate when she was, you know, tearing down Kyle on Amanda's behalf. But yeah, at a dinner party, like I would never, you would never, nobody would ever. That was for reality TV. But when it looked like two people she loves were about to harm each other physically, she was like, oh, whoa, whoops. Like, let me talk to you guys
I guess
like
whatever
people.
it takes
Yeah.
to get the ego out of the driver's seat
Yeah.
and the heart in there. But I wish that she had made better choices. But
But she's
that's not why I
Lindsay.
watched this show.
Like, I think why I responded to those moments is that it was so out of character for her. Because I'm used to, seeing her instigate and cause problems and pour gas on the fire. And this was the one time in my summer house recollection that I saw her go like, hey, take a breath, look at me. Hey, consider this perspective. Anyway, fascinating.
Inside, I felt like Lindsay was trying to assuage her guilt by telling Amanda and Ciara, I feel bad because I think I instigated it. And then Amanda was opportunistic as well and said, oh, you shouldn't feel bad because Kyle should be able to talk about these things without going off the deep end. Amanda's facial expressions at that dinner, that was violence.
She knows Kyle. She knows how to provoke him.
Yes.
And the way her choice of eye position and lip posture absolutely drove him crazy. And he said
Yeah.
a hateful thing, not the first time he said it. It's like the third or fourth this season. So
At
he
least.
sucks, but she sucks. And again, it's what I've said from the beginning about these two is they both suck. They are both in a toxic relationship, provoking each other because they get high off of hurting the other and then playing the victim once they've done damage. Both of them. And it's so extreme now that like it's out of control.
Oh, God. It was so team fucking nobody for me. So team fucking nobody. Amanda says that Kyle's idea of a partnership is when I align with what he wants, not when he aligns with what I want. And I mean, so far, she's made it very clear what she wants from him and what she needs from him, and he refuses to do it. Amanda is still staying. It takes two.
Yes.
It's,
After
again, team nobody.
10 years.
After 10 years,
It's time
dude.
for her. And I hated the tone in Kyle's voice when he's talking to himself later in the episode about like, she'll never do it herself. She never does anything herself. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's Amanda's part of the bargain. It's like, she doesn't want to do
Exactly.
anything herself. So she'll let Kyle boss her around and then say, Kyle bosses me around. But she doesn't want to, it's scary to do shit by yourself. Nobody
Yeah.
loves that. But like, and that is partly why I think she fell in with West. She doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't have to change friend groups. She doesn't have to, however, I don't think they expected it to enter the conversation the way it did. So we'll see. But
God damn, dude.
yeah, I think she's looking to attach herself to someone, period.
Amanda tells Lindsay, you weren't wrong in anything you said, which is why I sat there quietly. And I wrote, you were not fucking quiet, dude. Your face was in that boxing ring. Your face, your expression, your energy. You were not just sitting idly by. Do not try to tell us. This is what's so fucking infuriating. You can be a total asshole and never raise your voice. You know what you're fucking doing, dude. You know.
And between Lindsay coming at Kyle and Amanda making like smirky, pouty faces, it was striking a match.
Yeah, 100%.
Lindsay tells Kyle she wasn't trying to rattle him. Bullshit.
Yeah,
But
dude.
she claims we were all thrown by your Vegas residency, and Ben is there to correct her and say, like, it's just management. It's not a residency.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it's just an misunderstanding. So I don't know.
God. And then Amanda is just so fucking opportunistic and gnarly. In the kitchen, Carl comes in to apologize to Amanda, who says, don't apologize to me, bitch.
The
And
bitch
Carl's
part
like,
was so telling. It's just like, you don't give a shit about Kyle.
She doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care,
Don't
you
apologize
guys.
to me, bitch. It's like, oh, it is not a that. That's what you say, like when you drank someone's wine by mistake, and
Right. She's enjoying herself.
Yes,
She's
you're right.
literally enjoying
It's a party
herself right
for
now.
her.
And that, to me, is just so diabolical. And Carl's like, I was just trying to stick up for you. And I'm like, oh, sweet summer fucking children. Everyone is acting as earnestly as can be when they're watching their friend suffering, when they don't know that she's totally fucking got another whole thing going on.
But even so, this is where it gets complicated. Carl was trying to stick up for her because Kyle said, fuck you,
Fuck
to
you.
his wife
Yeah.
at a public dinner party. So regardless of what Amanda is doing, that is not ever okay. Behind closed doors, in front of people, you do not sling that language at your loved one. You just fucking don't. Or if you do, when your friend calls you out on it, you go like, oh my God, that was so fucking out of line. I'm out of control.
Yeah.
Thank you for, like, you don't defend it, go like, oh yeah, well, she hates me. It's like, don't, every time someone said, you can't say that, Kyle, he said, yeah, well, it's like, he has no remorse. He thinks she deserves it. So it's verbal abuse. And if he punched her, people wouldn't be so quick to be like, nah. But physical abuse and verbal abuse, people like to separate as if one is okay and forgivable and the other is unacceptable. I find them both unacceptable. I'm Team Carl.
I hear what you're saying. And obviously, this is a huge discussion going on right now, ever since last week's episode aired. I feel like Amanda, what she was doing at the table was torture. And when he said, fuck you, after watching her be smug for however long they were sitting there, I found it extremely, I found it not out of the realm of comprehension.
Look, I understand why he said it, but when someone calls you out on it, you do not defend it unless you're a fucking psycho asshole. And again, this is not the first time this summer he's been called out on it. He called her a fucking dumbass bitch. And then when he was DJing, dancing around in the backyard, he picked up his speaker and moped inside and made sure to turn to Amanda on his way in and go, fuck you, Amanda. So this is at least time number 3. So what do you do as a friend? If someone was saying that to you, in no world would I be like, hey, third time I've seen this happen. Can you tone it down a little bit? I know she's a bitch. I know she's on the rag. I know.
Yeah.
But can you? No, that's no. I know Amanda sucks, but she doesn't deserve. Nobody deserves to be talked to like that.
Oh,
they are just toxic to the ends of the earth. Like they want to hurt each other, and it's working. That's where the team nobody piece is it's like everybody
completely
is provoking the other. But I do just think there are certain lines. You don't hit, you don't say fuck you, and God forbid those things happen, you don't defend that kind of behavior. Because Carl's right. At the end of the day, Kyle's left with Kyle. Do you want to be the guy who says fuck you to the woman you took vows to? You want to be that guy? I don't think so.
No.
Anyways.
Amanda is extremely on board with all of the troops that have rallied around her to support her in her contrived victimhood. And it made me want to just barf. And I bet that they felt so stupid watching this back. I bet that this cast is just like, holy fucking shit. Like, I can't even imagine what Ciara is thinking. Like, you watch Mia and Ciara consistently just like hold the safest, warmest, softest space for Amanda to land, and she just like takes full. It is dirty. It's filthy. I've never seen it. I mean, it's atrocious.
It's real hateful. Yeah.
In the bedroom upstairs, Kyle is telling Ben and Lindsay that he had a huge conversation with Ciara on the beach earlier that day, where she told him about her conversation with Amanda, suggesting maybe they separate for a month. And he starts to cry, and he says he feels attacked. And Lindsay, this is where she's like, I feel really bad. I was just like, she's just focused on getting rid of her guilt and not actually listening to Kyle and what's making him feel so devastated. That was my take.
Maybe it's just hard because if I'm in Lindsay's shoes, I don't know. It's just so hard. This is the man who just said, fuck you to my friend's face. And like, yeah, I feel bad, but also like, is that a surprise? The separation? Like, I can see being Lindsay and being like, dude, it's the best thing for everybody. I'm glad the conversation happened. And I see that you're in pain about it. And also, you still haven't walked back saying fuck you multiple times this summer to your what? Like,
yeah.
Do you see why everyone's like not surprised by a separation, dude? Because you're so comfy slinging fuck yous around at your bride. Like, it's nuts.
And that's exactly what she tells him after he says he feels like he's being blamed for everything. He says he's in a really vulnerable spot right now and was looking forward to this weekend.
Oh, Kyle,
and
every weekend.
Every weekend since the fucking start of this goddamn show.
The only good weekend he has was the one where Amanda didn't show. Like, oh.
Yeah,
Kyle.
That's so true. That's so true. And it didn't take much to trigger him. And Lindsay's like, dude, you got to work on your reactions. You got to start saying fuck you to Amanda.
Yes. And I thought that was really clear and really direct and really simple for someone who's emotionally worked up to be like, all of that may be true. And also this.
Totally. And he says, I feel like she's deserted me. And I'm like, she has, dude. She started deserting you at least 6 months before you walked into this house.
Again, who knows? But Lindsay's not wrong saying like she has also felt deserted when you never come home and she gets DMs saying this is what he was doing. And those are the moments where I don't blame Amanda for having a fling. I don't blame her for dating someone totally inappropriate. My only problem is that it's West because that affects Ciara. I would fully expect her to freak out and act out with like a poor choice of partner.
Absolutely.
But this is just like, it's just so the wrong direction. So yeah, again, it is just the most toxic of toxic relationships. And again, they're both trying to win their case instead of looking at the overall picture of this broken relationship and saying like, I think we got to call it.
Dude.
What's the end game? You deserted me. No, you deserted me. And then somebody goes, okay, I deserted you. Then what? You're left with someone who deserted someone and someone who feels like they don't get to say they felt like you're a mess. It's over. It's too much. It's never been peaceful.
Oh, it's so full of ego. It's so full of ego and it's so awful. It's so awful. It's so awful.
And his fucking cold tone when he says, well, no sex for 7 years, no attention, no friendship, and no partnership will probably wear someone down. It's like, we get it, Kyle. You've been saying this forever. Again, he thinks he's surprising us. It's like, when addicts are the last people to admit they're an addict, everyone else knew. So when you're like, I'm an alcoholic, it's like, yeah, we know.
Totally.
We're just waiting for you to come around. So like, yeah, you've been bitching about not getting laid forever. You've been bitching about a lack of connection, but you don't do anything to support the kind of connection she wants because you guys are not a good match and maybe never were.
have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Lindsay notices this and she's like, dude, you're getting angry and defensive again.
Love
like,
her for that.
This was. So out on the front porch, Jesse brings out tequila rocks for Wes and Ciara. And Wes is like, oh, this is so 2023, referring to his first summer that he and Jesse joined the cast. And they were also thick as thieves, all three of them. And Ciara says to that, oh, we're so back. And I'm like, oh, God, honey, you're so not. He is so fucking playing you.
But he sort of gave it away a little bit because she was like, oh, did that make you uncomfortable? And he's like, no, well, yeah, it's just like,
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
That was diabolical.
And is that the confessional where he was like, it's just a lot. Like, we were just been friends for a week and people are like oohing and eyeing. Or is that later? I don't know. You could slot it in anywhere because I feel like he's trying to tell the audience, like, stop putting pressure on me. We only just became friends. And in an episode or two ago, he admitted the most shocking, disgusting thing that I don't feel like has gotten enough attention when he said, like, yeah, well, and I came to resent the person that everyone was championing. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is the grossest way to look at any situation, West. And I feel like everyone was like, and just sort of let it go. But to me, maybe it's just because we're in Scamanda times that I was like, oh, you're a bad guy. You're a bad guy.
He's a terrible person. Yeah. So Lindsay checks in on Amanda and says that I had a decently calm conversation with Kyle. And I said to him, what you cannot do anymore is say fuck you to her. And she tells Amanda, he said he feels deserted and said that you had a conversation with Ciara about the possibility of you guys separating. And she speculates that's where this whole outburst came from. I'm all, no shit, Sherlock. But yeah. In her confessional, Amanda says, one thing about Ciara is she tends to say out loud what I'd been thinking internally. I've considered, do we separate? Do we break up? I've had all these thoughts. And at this point, all the fuck yous, all the glares, all the nastiness is just making me feel stupid. What am I holding out for? Well, miss, When you recorded this fucking confessional where you're saying all this shit, you were already like,
Neck deep in West's dad bod.
for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Dirty. So filthy. And to weave Ciara into it. Well, Ciara says what I've been thinking. Like, fuck you, dude. She's just being a friend. You're so gnarly, Amanda. What's it like? What must it be like to wake up and be her, go to sleep and be her?
I also think Ciara is all of us. Like at a certain point, it's just hard to watch this. So
Totally.
I know people have had opinions about like she was overstepping by saying that, but I'm like, at a certain point, after 10 years of fighting and a summer of 3 fuck you weekends in a row, somebody has to say, like, would you consider a month taking a breath and being away from each other? Like, I don't know if it was that out of line because, like, clearly it motivated something that was. I think Kyle's right. Amanda would never have done it. She just would have cheated behind Kyle's back and justified it because he's a DJ and she got all these DMs and they would just continue to hate each other and fight until I don't even want to think of how that could end.
Yeah.
You know? Yuck.
Oh, so here's another one to fucking unpack. So back in the kitchen, Bailey tells the people that are in the kitchen with her, I didn't hate Angry Carl. It turned me on. I didn't hate it. Oh, girl. No. Mm-mm. 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 In her confessional, she's like, his neck was bulging. His neck was just like, oh, I loved it. His dog tags were flying. His hair was brushed to the side. This is my husband.
I mean, in fairness to Bailey, Angry Carl is like an angry puppy. It's like, it's pretty, he didn't actually swing. You know, like I used to watch Jersey Shore, and when those boys would get in a fight, it was actually terrifying. These two soft East Hampton white boys, like, she's just looking at someone like break a little sweat as if he was like rolling a tire in CrossFit. Like, he's not angry in a scary way. Neither one of them were. I'm so sensitive to that kind of anger, the kind that feels out of control, like it could turn physical any minute. And those two felt real, hold me back, hold me back. Like when my dog on her leash lunges at the German Shepherd, I'm like, what are you're on a leash, so you can be like, ah, rah, 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 rah. This old lady wasn't holding me back, ah, rah, rah. It's like, come on, you guys. I think it was just a new color on Carl. He brought it back so quickly. His hands were clasped in front of his stomach, and he was like, I'm okay, I'm okay. And he really was. I don't know.
In his bedroom, Kyle notices his blood on his favorite pants. I don't know what made him bleed. I was like, did you cut yourself on your Loverboy can? And he tells Ben, I wish I could control my emotions. I feel like I'm drowning. He starts to cry again. And I'm like, thank you. Keep crying.
Yeah.
More crying. More. First of all, I mean, no shit, but like, no one should be having these intense conversations with the amount of alcohol they've had. And when Kyle is in slur mode, table it till the next day. But everyone has to like get in on it when the adrenaline is running high and the blood is coursing through your veins. And it's like, I get it. Maybe that's just something that comes with age, but like, or just after like so many Al-Anon meetings where you just know, like, you don't get in the ring with people when they're wasted. It's just I don't know.
I mean, but Ben to me is such a dud, man. God, he doesn't do anything except like say like a little blood never hurt anybody. We'll get that out of your pants. I actually think this is what it took, an alcohol fueled near physical outburst for him to hit a break point and say like basically what he's saying here is my marriage is over. When he's crying that hard, hyperventilating, trying to say the word, it was suggested we separate. He knows it's over. And that is, I think, like you said, it's good. The tears are good.
Oh, the tears are good, dude. It's like they're under there anyway. They're under the anger is such a top level emotion.
And it's normal. We
You
all
know?
start there. Because wouldn't it be better to
Totally.
just get mad about something, have someone else change it, and then I can carry on and not have to disrupt my whole life? But his whole life is going to have to change. And a partnership, however toxic, it's a big change. Just having the person there, even if they hate you, someone's thinking of you and feels something about you, you know?
Mm. Oh, Ben tells him to hang in there. And I did see, and this is me giving, like when Kyle's hat was preventing them from having like a true close hug, I did give Ben credit for like taking the hat off and being like, no, let's, I feel like he really wanted to show up for Kyle. He was the only one that was really with him other than Lindsay,
And Carl actually
And
had a real
Carl.
conversation. Like,
Well, for
Ben,
sure.
I just have no faith in Ben. Like, Ben literally said to him, "It's hard. Everything's hard. You'll be okay." It's like, Ben,
I know.
this
God
man
bless.
just told you he's going to break up with his wife. And you just like give him, I don't know. It's fine. I turned on Ben so early. He'll never win me back. Poor thing. Who cares?
Even after the revelation about like what his dad not talking to him after he had sex in high school.
No, you still don't yell at a woman. The way he talked to Bailey, stormed in that room, talked to her like she was a baby. You're too old. I understand. We all have childhood trauma, and I don't take it out on strangers at a summer house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they might have suggested you fucked your mate's missus. You just go up there and say like, "Hey, those jokes aren't funny to me. First of all, I didn't do that. And second of all, can you just lay off?" Like you don't,
I know.
he's just he went up there like a real entitled, in my experience of him was just like gross. So,
because having sex means that you lose people. Having sex means that you're ostracized.
great. So tell Bailey that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why this hurts me so bad. I understand it's a joke to you. To me, my history says if someone thinks I'm sleeping with someone, that means I lose them because I come from a weird, fucked up religious background. So can you understand why that's not going to work for me to ever laugh at that joke? Oh my God, of course, Ben, I'll lay off. Thank you for you know what I mean? You say what you mean to me, what you say, and don't say it mean.
Yeah.
You're too old to go in and be like, what's wrong with you? Your room's messy.
I get it.
Yuck.
Ay, ay, ay. So upstairs in Carl's room, Carl and KJ are debriefing, and KJ tells him, I was scared you were going to hit him. And Carl says, I just want my friend to be okay. Oh. And KJ mentions that Kyle kept saying over and over that everyone thinks he's the bad guy. And KJ kept telling him over and over, no, 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 we don't see you like that. And Carl agrees and says, never. And Kyle's story that he tells himself is that he's the bad guy. And I think Amanda finds it real convenient to reinforce her own victim narrative right now. It's convenient for her right now.
Well, and in fairness, until Scamanda broke, that's where I was too.
100%. The best I could do was say it took two to tango and she can also leave.
Yes.
That was the best I could do.
Both of them have a real part in how nasty this relationship is.
Oh my God. And Carl just tells KJ, I don't know where to go from here. Well, they're going to work it out in a few minutes. So West comes inside, and conveniently, as he enters the foyer, Amanda enters the foyer from the other direction. And I'm like, were they texting, meet me inside, or I'll be inside in a
so
second?
interesting because, she approached him and just goes, you moving your chair next to me. And then he grabs her in a pretty intimate hug and she immediately starts sobbing. And I was like, that all feels like it came out of nowhere, but it didn't. It came out of either months of intrigue, possible physical exploration already, or like you said, maybe they were texting. I don't fucking know.
100%. 100%. And that was an embrace.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lover's embrace. There was no room for Jesus between them. There was no room for a sliver of paper. They were as close as two fucking San Francisco Victorian goddamn houses. There was nothing between those two. He was like in her hair, kissed her face twice, and they say, I love you to each other.
Again, I just can't say enough how crazy I feel because the last episode I recorded was when he was in the bathroom with her, hugging her after Kyle had also told her, fuck you that night. And he was leaving the room and from a distance just said, I love you. My phone's on if you need me. And I swooned. I was like, what a great friend. That's a guy friend. That's the kind of guy friend that will like. And now it's just like, oh, everything's tainted.
And as soon as the internet rewatched that scene under the filter of the news that dropped and dissected the fact that he whipped, like he tucked a sock into his pocket that he was probably using to like muffle the microphone with. God damn.
I mean,
dirty birds.
Again, if you're willing to go to those lengths.
That's what I'm saying. That's so gnarly, dude. That's what he was willing to do. that is what West and Amanda are willing to do.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They're so it's just that sickening feeling of like I don't even know who these people are and I thought I did. It's like with my exes, when time and distance passes and I run into them again, that feeling of like, oh, you're somebody I used to know crosses my mind. But like I had one friendship breakup that was like this, like a friendship betrayal where I was like, oh, who the fuck are you? We've been friends for like 8 years and we agreed on all these things. We shared a value system. And then one situation happens and the rubber hits the road and you're like, peace out, fuck you. Margie's crazy, right? And I was like, what? Like it was insane. That just rattles my reality. I'm just like, well, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I ever knew who you were. And you can say to me, no, I'm the same person. I just did this one thing. I'm like, no, it's not just one thing. Like it's a whole lot of things that have to happen to make you make that okay. So that you're weird and I don't know you and that's sad. And that's a different kind of, again, it has a clinical name. It is betrayal trauma because it's like,
Yeah.
what?
And I don't understand if I'm Ciara, I'm probably still having days where I stop on the street and look at something in the past and go, oh my God, was that even what I thought it was?
I'm not
Or
even
was it
Ciara
this?
and I'm doing that.
Exactly.
Like, I can't
Exactly.
imagine.
But that's why I'm so resentful at Amanda and West is like, poor Ciara, she's been nothing but fucking earnest this whole time. And just to take advantage of that, it's diabolical. So Kyle comes to Carl's room. They walk in, they're going to chat. They also embrace another kind of love, brotherly love.
And he goes, we're going to squash this right now. So cute.
Carl says he's sorry immediately, and Kyle also says he's sorry. Carl's like, dude, I made it worse. And Kyle said, all I wanted to do was squash it. Carl said, I've never been this heated in my entire life. And Kyle says, dude, I think you needed to get it out. And they both laugh and agree. It was touching.
And Carl even said, he's like, I've got my own shit. And I think Carl knows that, like, it's that hard thing of like, it has been a few years since his brother passed. And like, now it becomes your pain, your grief, you know? So he's learning how to like let people move on when he won't ever, you know? It's a very different experience for him than it is for his friends. And I don't know. I just thought I loved this little friendship.
I loved
was
it.
real
I
sweet.
loved it. And Carl emphatically tells Kyle, I'm not upset at all about Soft Bar. That's never been a thing. And I was all, it hasn't? It seems like it's been a thing. The investment, no investment.
I think Carl shared with Jesse, like, it bothers me, but has decided it's not worth nickel and diming this friendship,
Yeah.
this decades-long friendship. And again, Carl has said repeatedly, Kyle is the one who performed the intervention. He came to Carl's house after Carl had holed up doing coke alone for days, basically trying to kill himself. And Kyle came over and said, you are not okay. So Carl knows that this man saved his life. So he didn't give 15 grand. Would it have been better if he did? Yeah, that would have felt way
Sure.
better. But is
Yeah.
it worth saying, is it worth folding your arms and going like, how do we make this right? No.
So Kyle starts crying and apologizes again. And Carl says, when you say fuck you to your wife, that's out of line. And Kyle explains, she sat there while I was taking bullets and was eating it up. That's when I said, fuck you. And I wrote, that happened. He's not wrong. I understand that she was quiet. I understand that's not okay to say fuck you. I also know, like, God damn, dude. Everyone's a fucking human. I don't know.
Again, I don't fault him for saying fuck you, and I see what motivated it. I fault him again here. This is the third time that someone's approached him. Lindsay said, you can't say that. And he said, yeah, but. And Carl says, you can't say that. And he said, she did this. It's like, just acknowledge you're right. I should have stood up and walked away. And if you need to be heard as to why you were brought to that place, then share that. But like, I just am tired of excusing. Because if we find a reason when it's okay for someone to say fuck you, then the reasons become infinite and people just say fuck you.
That's fair. I can see that. I can see that. And then he says, imagine feeling like your wife or your partner, I can't remember the last time she stood up for me. And he's crying again. And I hate that I feel for him. I hate it.
But I do. I think because this, like Lindsay, like this is the realest I've seen Kyle all summer. He's been trying to have a good weekend. And this weekend, he finally let the truth like in and out. So he's just like, he knows his relationship is doomed. They cannot heal. His best efforts all summer long landed him in a fist fight with his friend and saying "fuck you" at a dinner table. It's
Yeah,
bad.
dude,
So,
seriously.
And
Oh
speaking of
God.
bad, this was disgusting. So Amanda and Ciara are in bed, and Amanda tells Ciara that when Kyle looked at me and said "fuck you," that was the worst part of it for me. And Ciara goes, "Me too." And I was just like, first of all, again, 4 or 5 weeks ago, I would have been like, yeah, Amanda, that was the worst part for all of us. How gross. But now I'm just like, why are you driving that point home? Just to let Ciara know that how much you've been harmed so you can't be responsible for your shitty ass behavior? Ugh. And then,
Because she knew.
yeah, and then she goes even further saying, like, I think I need to put myself in someone else's shoes. Like, if I saw someone treating my friend like this, I would yell at them. I would have a fight with my friend. And she's like, I'm not saying that you guys like aren't doing that, but basically saying like you guys could do better. And I'm like, this whole fight erupted because one of your friends, Lindsay, was sticking up for like you. This is where I'm with you. Like she's laying the foundation here to have a fuck up oopsie with West and tell Ciara, like, you have to understand why that happened. I was dizzy from all the fuck yous and you guys didn't stand up for me, so I wasn't sure which way was up. And I just landed on West's lap. Fuck you. Oh,
Oh, that's see? Yeah, see?
I take it back though.
She
I
pushed you.
immediately
She pushed you.
caught it. She did push me.
She pushed you.
But yeah.
The hours and hours of footage we've watched of Ciara genuinely, palpably pained watching her friend in this situation. Agonizing. Agonizing when she's with Amanda, agonizing when she's not. She is just so gutted over what's going on for her friend. And to have Amanda say, well, not that, not saying that you guys didn't, wouldn't do that, but I was like, are you out of your fucking white mind right now? You entitled bitch.
And she collects friends who really help her paint herself as a victim.
Exactly.
Because
right.
like Paige did the same thing before Amanda and Kyle's wedding. She was like, you don't have to do this. Like you can be treated better. Shouldn't your partner, treat you like his beloved or like whatever? And Amanda just likes to be like, I can't. I already scheduled the wedding. And it's like,
Yeah.
you collect people.
She played
to
us
make
all.
yeah, she really did, to make her victim story
God damn,
feel
dude.
supported. It's weird.
All right.
So we're back in Carl's room, and Kyle and Carl are talking through some more well-tread territory. But then we get to the point where Kyle tells Carl about the conversation with Ciara on the beach about separation. And that's when he's hyperventilating, said like, she said we should separate. And like he started absolutely sobbing. And Carl, oh my God, just the best kind of friend that I want in the room, just going like, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of that. That's so hard. There's something different about Kyle's presence than Ben just hugging him and being going like, it's tough. Carl was just standing there experiencing his, friend's emotion like real legitimately. And
he was holding him. He was holding him where he was at versus Ben, which is trying to comfort his friend out of an uncomfortable feeling. Carl's just like sitting there with him.
Yeah. And then Kyle like admits and explains like, I've been trying to keep a happy face. And Carl gave him permission. Like, you don't have to keep a happy face. Basically, at least not in front of me. This is real. And Kyle says he's been a mess all summer. He's sobbing still. I feel like my life is falling apart. And Carl tells him he feels terrible for how he handled the situation tonight. And Kyle insists that this was a two-way street and both of them regret it and both of them forgive one another. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, and I believe them. I believe they'll get past this. And in fact, I'm sure you saw Carl on Watch What Happens Live, like when Andy asked him, like, you said, that his DJing sucked and that he has no music. And Carl was like, oh no, he is making his own music now and he's going to release it soon. And I was like, oh, so this is actions following up those words,
Totally. They're going to be good. They're going to be real good. Neither one of them remembers saying you're a 6'5" motherfucker, being called Vagisil, you're a fucking loser. Like none of it. It's all forgiven. It was beautiful. I wish it broke my heart watching Kyle on the verge of tears, like the tears coming out of his mouth, and he had to just take a big old sip.
I know. I noticed that too.
It
I was like,
was heartbreaking. It was like, I could feel it. I'm like, you don't have to do that, dude. You don't have to do it. But he did.
yeah.
He did have to do it.
And then we touched back with Ciara, and me and Ciara are now with Amanda, and Amanda's like now apologizing for this, like the fourth time this summer that you've had to give me a pep talk. And Ciara very earnestly says, this is called friendship. You're there for me when I'm sad. I'm going to be there for you when you're sad. Ugh. And like all of this stuff, I'm sure the whole world felt a universal just knife twist in their own gut of like, God, Amanda, you really took advantage of the wrong girl. And then Kyle comes in, and again, their dynamic is just so painful because like Amanda's not open to anything. Kyle tries to apologize. She doesn't accept it. So he then feels victimized, and like it's just more of the fucking same. Whatever. Bye. Everyone goes out.
When he leaves the room, she just gets that demented smile on her face and goes, where was the apology? He did say he was sorry. It was not adequate at all. The way he apologizes is not adequate. It's woefully inadequate. I understand that. But if she wants to traffic in technicalities, whereas downstairs she did not technically raise her voice. So when he walks back to his room, he's talking to himself and he's got that pathetic fucking alcoholic voice. I don't know why. I don't know how I'm going to go. I don't know how I'm going on years and years and years feeling like my wife doesn't have my back. It's a horrible feeling. Oh, God. Like, don't blow me, but also blow me. Like, you don't have to stay, bro. But I do believe that he has been more in love with Amanda than she has been with him this entire time.
I mean, again, his actions don't indicate that, but I also understand not wanting to be in a house where someone looks at you sideways all the time. Like, I don't know.
Totally.
It's just a mess.
Team nobody, and they've never
Totally. And then, you know, Kyle continues saying, like, sometimes I think she purposely roots for anybody against me. I don't think she wants fucking single thing to do with me. I think she's too fucking scared to fucking get out of it. She can't do anything for herself. That's what I'm starting to think. Can't fucking do it anymore, man. And it's like, yeah, I think you're working it out. I think he's working it out. And I think he's finally getting himself to the place. So I heard this last line is, I can't fucking do this anymore. So he did the whole thing where he blamed her. She won't do this. She won't do that. She'll never leave. And then I thought I heard him say, I can't fucking do this anymore. But maybe I got it wrong. But either way, the outcome is eventually both of them getting to the point of like not doing this anymore, doing other weird shit, kissing Megan King Edmonds and getting in bed with West. But
it's like she was in such, not that clothes should matter, but I was just staggered by how terrible her outfit was the night that they made out.
It had to be a theme party or something, right? Something
I really
was weird.
It was a terrible, terrible outfit.
It's just an awful picture. It looks like I don't know.
Yeah, it was just, I do think that Kyle's guts have been screaming at him. I think that's why he feels insane. He felt insane at that dinner table.
Yes.
He felt nuts. Like, no, you guys don't understand. She has been checked the fuck out, especially now that she and West are able to see each other every weekend over the summer because they're working together. So before that, they were hanging out. Like Kyle said earlier in the season, yeah, she's seen Wes more than me in the last 6 months. Yeah. So, like, he doesn't know, like, his gut has been telling him something's fucking up. She's checked out. She's checked out. She's checked out. He just didn't know how checked out and with who she was checked out. But if I were Kyle and I found out about this, I would have felt like, oh my fucking God, I'm so relieved. I wasn't fucking nuts this whole time thinking that it was something that wasn't, or thinking that was something that wasn't. I don't know. So everyone's getting ready to, I don't know how the fuck they can all go out, but I am also not in my late 20s to early 30s. So
Kyle's in his 40s.
Well,
and
Kyle
so
and
is
Carl,
Carl,
old,
yeah. And so is Lindsay, but it's the last weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
So I think they're just like, let's blow it out.
So Kyle asks Amanda, she manages to go back down to their bedroom and he's getting ready to leave. And he's like, are you coming? And she's like, you don't want to say anything? You're just going to go out? He's like, I tried to talk to you upstairs. And she's like, but you were talking about yourself. Like, it's never going to be, she is so shut off. It doesn't matter. He could come in with roses, although that would be bullshit too. Like
He did. He bought her a watch. It's
he
like
did. He bought her that.
they've tried everything. Like to
Yeah.
their credit, you know, there's that therapist who used to say you have to earn your way out of a marriage. They
Yes.
have tried everything, and every single road leads to toxic, explosive, nightmarish blow up. So they tried it all, and the hypothesis that this marriage is broken has proven true.
And he lost me here because his tone was just real shitty. He says he's sorry again, says sorry for saying F you, sorry for ruining dinner, sorry for ruining the night. And she's like, oh, that's not what you should be sorry for. Oh my God.
But she lost me there. It's just like, do you want to have this
Totally.
conversation, or you
I
just want to
know.
punish him before he goes out?
I know.
And then it just seems like
She does.
the latter. Yeah. And it
Yeah.
seems like that's their routine is he apologizes. She says something shitty. He goes out anyway. Like all of it's terrible. And it's
all
just
terrible.
a stew of mess. So whatever. And then, oh my God, they go out and come back, and the door made a fart noise and started to stick again. And I was like, yes, on the last day of summer, we get our final castmate back in the house.
Oh my God, the door. I know the door was like, enough, enough. For those of you who have not watched Summer House since since they moved into this house, which was not, this house was after COVID. I think they came in 2021. I can't believe I know this shit.
I mean, the door makes it so memorable. It's literally like the stair in
is.
Modern Family that in every single
Absolutely.
episode of 11 seasons or however long that show
Totally.
ran, he's like, I got to get that fixed. But humorless Ben, like the door makes a fart noise and Ben is like, I guess it's broken. And I was like, have a laugh. You've been out all night. Fucking go ahead and
Ben.
giggle, sir. It's okay. Anyways.
So yeah, Kyle came home and part of the early crew. He came home with Carl and Ben. And he appreciates that they came home early with him. He was planning on taking an Uber by himself from the club, but they came with him to support him. And oh, God bless these guys anyway. The rest of the crew comes home. Ciara and KJ are surprised finding Kyle in the kitchen in just his boxers and his T-shirt, microwaving his dry eye mask that I have now used 3 times because of this fucking show.
It spooked
last
me
week.
too. He was standing there in his like under like his boxer briefs, kind of like a lightly oversized t-shirt. And then he had one of those like hair ties, like holding his hair back. I was like, that is a scary, ghostly image to like walk home from a party from. But, you know, very endearing.
So random, dude. But thankfully, like, again, all roads lead to Bravo. I'm sure my optometrist is going to be very happy for me that whatever it takes for me to get to use my dry eye mask, you know? Anyway. This was a weird scene that's been, talked about a lot, dissected to bits and back. In the kitchen, Jesse asks Kyle, where are you sleeping? And he's like, in my bed, bitch. And Kyle asks West to the side, imagine if Jesse said, yo, I was trying to sleep with your wife. And West, for all of the joking and the bullshit that he does to like have a good time, he doesn't smile or laugh or do anything but violently shake his head no. Like, nope, that's not going to happen.
Fucking your mate misses, man.
Right?
And then we're in Jesse's room and there's some hijinks about who's going to sleep in what bed. And maybe West and Jesse will sleep in one bed, and West like, who's going to keep that rule? Implying that maybe he and Ciara would share. Like the whole thing is just like messy, confusing. Again, it's like there's a little sex and love addiction.
So
in
much
the room,
intrigue.
it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gnarly. That's all he can traffic in, dude.
And then he ends it all by just going prank, and everyone goes off to their regular room. So it's like, it's so much whiplash. Like, because again, remember, was it last episode or the one before where he on a dock with Ciara was holding her by the back of the head with his face nestled in her neck saying, I love you, I've missed you. Like, it's confusing to me, and I'm not in their relationship. Like, it's so weird. The next morning, we get our classic Kyle trying to snuggle with Amanda, and just he starts by saying, I'm sorry, which is just the saddest fucking refrain in this marriage.
God.
At some point, we're in West and Jesse's room, and West is on his phone looking up snakes. And he's like, ooh, this snake like it eats people or whatever. And I was like, you're a snake.
That's why that scene was in there.
I believe that. And
100%.
It's also true. It's like, why are you looking up snakes, you fucking weirdo? Because, like, looking in a mirror. Anyways.
Oh, my God. Hilarious. Jesse tells West, I really enjoyed hanging out with you and Ciara. And West is like, that felt special. He's such a tool, dude. Oh, God. Like 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was like, I would have been. I just am so, yeah.
It's that whole thing that this is my fucking issue with liars. Is like, well, now I don't know. Everything seems like bullshit. So I don't know if that felt special is true or not. And I'm going to
Right.
have to assume everything you say is a lie. So how sad. It's so fucking hollow. And I just thought this was so shitty that Wes said that after he and Ciara had talked, they had the what do we talk about now moment. And he said, I knew you were never going to make out with Jesse. And it landed. And I was like, you're so fucking rude. Jesse already felt embarrassed. He went through that whole fight with Ciara where he was legitimately like ashamed. Like, you know, and West saw all that. Like, it was just so unnecessary. And like, West is a dick. I think he's just
Yeah.
a dick. I think he's like
He
a
really
Barstool
is.
Sports kind of just arrogant New York fuck.
He fooled us.
Ugh.
He fooled the fuck out of us with his job, like with all of it, with the way he dresses. He is just nothing. He
And his
has,
cutesy Midwest, like, who, me?
Yeah.
I've made it this big kind of
Yeah.
vibe that I really bought. What an idiot.
yeah. I feel so dumb. He makes me feel real dumb. Fuck you, West.
But Jesse,
Stupid.
the last 2 episodes, I found him completely charming because he just breaks it all down right here. He's like, look, the best thing I could have done would have be to say nothing, but I thought maybe asking my friend if you still had an interest was the right way to go. And last episode, he said that he was seeking a relationship with Ciara to soothe some loneliness in himself, but now he realizes he just has to spend more time working on himself, and how he felt so much better being of service to his community. Like, he is exhibiting some real growth. And I can't believe that I'm saying I appreciate Jesse Solomon, but I do.
I get that. And I'm right there with you until I remember that he is talking shit about Carl about the email and telling Kyle and like laughing about it. It just feels like what Josh said. Jesse is going to say anything in the moment to get the love, the accolades, the attention.
He is a little gossip,
something.
but I will say he seems changed by this
I
West
think so, too.
betrayal, because what he's learning, which I had to learn as well, is like pleasing people and doing around them what you know they like does not spare you from a shitty person's harm, hurtful, painful, dismissive, make me feel disposable harm. And I think
Totally.
Jesse's like coming face to face with that. He's having a real life lesson moment. So I'll be curious to see how he emerges from this, because like gossiping is really sweet and delicious and juicy until you realize that you've talked shit about a nice guy to a guy who's a piece of shit to
Yeah.
you directly. He
Yeah.
lied. Jesse said, we spoke for hours and I asked him directly, are you fucking around with Amanda? And he said, absolutely not. No, no, no. He denied it to his face. That is a criminal. That is a
He hasn't
creep.
cut him off. That's the thing. He's still like, West was one of my West was one of my best friends.
I mean, it's confusing. Like this
Oh,
friendship betrayal
God.
that I referenced, I run into this girl on occasion, and every time I see her, it's confusing because it was one of my closest friends for a really long time. And to see that person, but also know what they're capable of, is such a weird mind fuck every time.
Is this the person that I have planned out what I would say?
Yes.
Even though I don't even know what she looks like.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I run into her occasionally now, and it's totally not charged. In fact, I saw her after this like sweaty yoga class, and I was so delirious. Like, she gave me a what's up kind of head nod, and I didn't do anything back. And then because I didn't realize it was her. And I just walked up to her after, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so delirious after this class. I didn't realize it was you. Nice to see you. And then I just left, and I really meant that. But it is weird because like then I got in my car and a flash of 8 years of friendship and shared life passed before my eyes. And I was like, yeah, both of these things are part of my experience. And I prefer black and white to gray or messy. And that is not life on life's terms. So anyways.
So at the end of that conversation, Wes wonders out loud, I wonder how Amanda's doing. Yeah, I bet you wonder how Amanda's doing. Skank. Both of you are skanks.
Yeah, go back to texting her your snake pictures back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sneaky snakes.
On the couch, Amanda tells Lindsay, Kyle apologized for going out last night and leaving me by myself. And Lindsay's grossed out that that's what he apologized for. But Amanda is not giving her the full fucking story. I only mention this because, again, she's crafting her bullshit.
And she's spreading it around. She's going person to person, bed to bed, couch to couch to try and get everyone to be like, oh, Amanda. And pretty successfully until March 31st or whatever.
So here's an example. Here's an example in this scene of two earnest, caring people who are victim to Amanda's lies and deception and betrayal. Mia and Ciara are in Ciara's bed. Mia tells Ciara, you know what pisses me off so much is that it's our last weekend. We're all going to go home, and Amanda has to go home and deal with that. And if he's okay speaking to her like that in front of other people, what does he say to her when they're alone? And Ciara says, it makes me not want to be Kyle's friend. The fact that he can do that and then try to go out with us. Like, I told him at the pub, something has to give because you both can't keep living like this. I love you guys together, but I don't love you that much together. These poor women are spending their off time, like in agony over what Amanda's going to go home to after they leave.
It's true either way, you know? It's like Mia's right. If Kyle's capable of saying that in front of a group of people, I bet being at home is miserable. Does not excuse cheating with your friend's ex. And Ciara is right to question her friendship with Kyle. Like, what kind of a guy says fuck you to his wife, doesn't apologize, and goes out on the town and parties? And we saw the video from inside the club. He's smiling. He's the one holding the camera, bouncing up and down, having the time of his fucking life. Like, it is confusing, you know? So confusing. And they were just operating with the information they had, you know? All the shame falls to Amanda and West. These are just good people doing what good people do, caring about the people in their circle, and now they have to grieve the loss of those two motherfuckers. And yeah,
Ciara reached 1 million followers on Instagram today or yesterday, so I'm
so good.
I
mean, it doesn't make up for. I stand by the same way with Ariana and Tom. Like, you wouldn't trade that level of heartbreak and betrayal for any fame or success. But if you got to go through it, you might as well have 1 million followers.
Right.
Be on Dancing with the Stars, host, Love Island After Sun, also be invited back to Summer House on your terms if you want to come back. Like, she's...
Yep.
The carpets are rolling out in all the right directions.
Totally. And I'm so glad. From what we know of her, she really deserves it, you know? So Jesse asks West, what do you think about Ciara's idea that they take a month off? And West, again, like the mask is slipping. He says, well, Kyle's so dramatic. He couldn't let her do that and not make it into like, oh, she's leaving me, which he says in like the most sarcastic, mocking tone. Dramatic? Dramatic?
Yeah, the breakup of a marriage is dramatic, turns out.
See? The fact that that's what he's reducing this to. He is so checked the fuck out. He's gnarly, dude. I
also think he needs Amanda and Kyle to stay together to get off with Amanda. I don't think he wants her, he wanted his girlfriend in Montana who makes horsehair ties, and then a little taste of Amanda when Kyle's away DJing most nights a week. So,
and his volleyball teammate Shailene in New York, and like there's lots, there's lots,
and no
of
need
women
to commit to anyone. You can tell them, oh, Amanda, I would commit to you, but you're with Kyle and he'll never let you leave. And oh, Montana girl, I would commit to you, but long distance. So sorry about it.
She moved to Philadelphia,
whatever,
Pennsylvania. Yeah,
until she moves in with him, it's long distance for West Wilson. So
it's so gnarly. Yeah. It's so fucking gnarly. He's so gnarly. Wes says he thinks space would be great for the both of them, but Jesse doesn't think that's the answer either, that sounds like a step towards breaking up. And Wes doesn't give a fuck. He just doesn't care. It's Sunday, August 31st. It's 12:38 p.m. The troops are amassed in the backyard, most of them at least anyway, and Ciara instructs them all that it's her Après Ski dream party, and she needs all hands on deck. Emphasizes it's their last party of the year. It needs to be bigger and better. There's going to be indoor, outdoor ice luges and an igloo inside. And then we've got the setup montages. Sabrina comes an hour later. And I have to admit, I liked this. I liked the decor.
I thought it was a great party. That looked like a blast. Great theme, great party, great outfits.
Great outfits.
Oh my God,
God,
I
would
was
have had so much
dying
fun.
when they were all setting up and Mia was setting up the tinsel, the silver tinsel, and like one of the tinsel strands like got caught up her butt crack, and the
Yeah.
editors like focused on her butt, and she has like an amazing butt with this like hilarious silver tinsel. Like that is a humid summer while you're trying to set up and your butt's out. What are you gonna do?
Some rude ass tinsel crawling up there.
I know.
So Mia and KJ, oh, I just love them so much. So Mia asked KJ, hey, how are you feeling about the summer being over? And he shares that he's been getting anxious. And he says, when I'm invested and I have connections, it's so genuine and I want to keep it going. And I think this is a good place to bring up that what we have learned about KJ, he has shared on social media and in interviews and on podcasts. He was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and borderline personality disorder. And if you're unfamiliar with the hallmarks of borderline personality disorder, one of them can include an overwhelming fear of abandonment when it comes to your friends. And that gives insight into how personal he's been taking these relationships over the summer. Always talk about the lads, the boys, being so glad to be in with this group. And I love how vocal KJ has been. He has used his platform to champion prioritizing your mental health so much and being very honest about his own struggles and accomplishments. I am charmed by this young person. I want him back forever. I love him.
He's awesome. And
Love him.
you can see how he and Dara are such a good match because in that earlier scene in the kitchen after the big physical fight and everyone's talking to Amanda, Dara pipes up out of nowhere and was like, hey, Amanda, do you want to talk about this? Because it's not your job to explain it to us if you don't. Which was such like, I was like, oh, no wonder you're with KJ. The two of you are just so thinking in that way. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of healing to get to that space. So I see why they're a good match and they've gone the distance thus far.
And then he asks Mia about the holidays, and she's like, I usually went to Chicago, but now with my mom being gone, I don't know if I'm going to do that. And he's like, well, my mom's planning to be in New York, so if you want to join us. And he's like, you're fam.
And he invites,
this means a lot to her.
Yeah, he said, I told my mom, you and Ciara might pull through. And I was like, cute.
And then fun fact, I don't know if anyone has seen this in the last couple of days, but KJ's mother and Mia's older sister were college roommates and friends.
All roads lead to Bravo.
All of them do. And he shared a picture on social media of Mia's sister, like holding little teeny tiny baby KJ.
That was KJ in the picture?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
my God.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so cute.
And in her confessional, Mia says, since my mom passed away, I just put my head down and worked. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't thinking about myself. And this summer has really given me the opportunity to just step away from my life and start to actually feel, which is such a weird thing to do in a house with a bunch of people you just met. And now I look at those people like family and I'm so grateful. Fuck you, Amanda.
I mean, her loss, but in terms of everyone else, KJ and
For sure.
Ciara and even Jesse and,
everybody.
They really are. Yeah. It's a good group.
Ugh. So up in West and Jesse's room, they're sitting with Lindsay, and she asks West, what did you think about Ciara saying he's the person that she loves the most at dinner the night before?
And she said it expectantly, like, ooh, what did that feel like? Like,
Exactly.
Aren't you happy? Because all of us were thinking that this is the best thing ever because you have spent 2 years seemingly trying to win her back. Your chemistry's undeniable. Like, what the fuck? But he's weird.
And the best West can do is say, oh, I wasn't expecting the L word. And Lindsay says, yeah, I thought she would be talking about Amanda or Mia, but that was your title. How do you feel about it? And he says, well, it's sad that we get along so well and I had to pretend not to for 2 summers. This is his takeaway. I wonder if Lindsay can go back and think about this and what she would say.
She looked weirded out in the moment, but in the way where only when you look back on it after knowing everything, you go like, yeah, I thought that was weird. Because you can't conceive of a world where he's fucking Amanda. So you're just like, oh, he must just be squirrely about talking about this because it's so new. I would find 100 ways to justify that weird ass, tepid response. Weird. And also this like blaming thing, like I had to pretend not to like her for two. No, you didn't. You didn't
No,
have to
exactly.
pretend shit. And also you didn't pretend shit. Like it's just weird. You
So in his
just kissed a girl in front of her like a couple weeks ago. Like, what
Yeah.
do you mean?
I know. In his confessional, he says, I've just spent 2 years thinking she hated my fucking guts. I understand now that it was protection, self-protection, and a wall. Obviously, I'm very thankful and happy to hear it. But I've been trying to avoid the relationship and what comes with it for a long time. And now we're back to like oohs and ahs. It feels good, but it's a lot of process and kind of confusing.
That's
Now,
not-
obviously, when he taped that confessional, he didn't give a shit about Ciara no more.
No.
He and Amanda were having their secret, physical, whatever, probably.
And he's so full of
And
shit, saying, I
he's
understand
so
now that it was
disgusting.
self-protect. No, you didn't. In that heartbreaking reunion when she said, I don't give my body to just anybody, and I'm going to have a difficult time rebuilding with you. Like, you knew then because she said it like real clear and she was crying and she had your attention. And maybe you even cared back then. Probably not, but maybe. So trying to sell me on this is just like,
It's fucking diabolical
and
and
avoid the
disgusting.
relationship and what comes with it. Oh, get ready, Amanda, because this narrative is coming your way too pretty soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
if it hasn't already, right. So for some reason, Lindsay says, you have a way about you, West. You're hard to hate.
He was hard to hate.
He
And
was
now he's a snake.
gnarly. So at 4:17 p.m., Matt and Katie, who are, I only mention it because they are shoving the In the City cast on us in this party.
Oh.
Yeah. So Matt and Katie are Kyle and Amanda's friends. They show up. They're going to be on In the City. Katie is also the person that was alluded to in one of the reunion leaks where someone asked Amanda, what would you do if this happened to Katie? And she's like, well, Katie's been my friend since third grade. So she's so fucking gnarly. Everyone's getting ready. Lindsay is wearing a full red bodysuit and she goes to show Bailey, who said that she could draw a picture of Lindsay's vulva.
Lindsay's like, I have
Basically.
a full camel toe. And
Yeah.
Bailey's like, I could draw your entire vagina.
I could draw it. That really made me
That's
laugh.
hilarious.
And then Amanda's trying to do her best Ciara impersonation by wearing a costume. Is she a snowball?
I guess. Yeah. I'm so mad. I didn't even try to figure out what it was.
I know.
I was like,
It
I don't
was
know what you
so
are, but
bad.
I don't like you. So
Yeah.
onward.
Yeah. And then they gather in the kitchen for a pre-party shot, and then the party starts. And Lexi and Andrea show up, more In the City cast. West tells Dara her outfit. Now, no one else is around, especially KJ. No one else is around. West says, your outfit's the hottest outfit this house has seen in a long time. That's fucking gross, dude. Hey, you look great, Dara, or I love your outfit, but that's the hottest outfit this house has seen in a long time when you know he's dating a guy that you claim to be one of your close friends.
And again, it's like, it's the situation. Like she's straddling a jet ski. He's laying on his back, looking at her up and down, and they're alone. It's like, if he said that in front of the group, of course, like, duh. But like the isolation of it all felt skeezy and like, I don't know what he's doing. He is gross.
He's so
Especially,
gnarly.
again, because they have a history. They have hooked up. He has seen her naked. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to introduce. Weird.
And they're both sad about the summer ending. And Dara just assumes it's because maybe you and baby C, basically meaning like, yeah, you're sad the summer's ending because you just reconciled with Ciara. And aren't you so happy? And he is just like, he's over it. He's over it because he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, you're right.
He's over it because he's over hearing about it from Lindsay, from Jesse, from everybody, because he does not give a fuck.
Yeah,
And
he
he
really goes like, and it's not even ice cold. He goes like resentful, nasty.
Exactly.
It is such an ugly color on him. And
Yeah.
Dara goes on and on again, like Lindsay did, like the rest of us would have. Like so dreamy, like I see you in the future someday when you're ready, you and Ciara. Like everyone thinks they're the match, they're end game, they're all the things. And he's just like, I don't know, we'll see. But almost with this like, shut the fuck up and stop talking about it. Like, you know, he's moved on to, you know, his mate's missus.
Racist. Ciara and Jesse are across the yard also talking about the end of the summer. And Jesse says, the summer felt good. The only part that didn't was when you were upset with me. That's my thorn. And my rose is that you and West are besties again. And they both joke that the trio is back, and it is very much not.
That's so
And
sad. Like it's
it
again, it's
is.
like these kind of like lies and betrayals affect more than the people think they will. I'm sure West and Amanda talked about how this might affect Ciara and Kyle, but like all the other people you lie to are on this ride with you too, and it's devastating. I feel so bad for all of them.
So bad.
Everyone had their hopes up. Dara, Jesse, whatever.
Sabrina.
Poor
Jesus.
Sabrina.
So Jesse asked Ciara, hey, have you and Wes discussed whether or not you're just friends and act accordingly? Or do you only have that dynamic with me? So Jesse says, it feels like it would be confusing when Wes was flirty with you. And she's like, well, we haven't had a conversation like that yet. And when Jesse asks, if she likes it being flirty with him, she says, to be honest, it's fun, but I don't know. Oh, God.
It is
She knows,
fun.
dude.
Yeah.
I think she knows, but I think her gut is also telling her, like, caution, caution, caution. Thankfully.
It's that thing. I'm sure her intuition is saying like something's weird, but the chemistry between the two of them. And again, although he's an ice cold jackass at this party, on the dock when he had her alone, he cried and held her. And like,
Of course.
I would assume he had an interest in pursuing this further as well. So, and then, yeah, Jesse calls that, ooh, plot twist, with her being interested in a flirtation with West, but whatever.
Oh, God. And then the last confessional we have in the episode is Ciara saying, I feel like I'm seeing a change. He's making some positive steps and I appreciate them. But at the same time, I'm scared of his ability to be very invested and then not at all. Yeah.
Gulp.
That's your gut. The whiplash of, is he in it and then not? Do you care and then don't care? Are we actually going to be friends? Are we going to be friends in the house and then post-summer nothing?
Yes. Nailed it.
I mean, they did date in the fall. They were rumored to have been dating around the time that the news broke.
Right. I mean, again, who knows? But
who knows?
But not in the way, like, he knows what Ciara wants.
Exactly.
And for him to pursue her,
exactly.
However, whatever. It's just yucky. Yucky, yucky.
And that's it. That's it. And I can't wait for the fucking finale. I cannot wait for the finale. Oh, my God. And then the reunion. It's like we've got like 4 weeks left of this amazing, this shit we never saw coming in a million years. Denied. No way. Can't be true. Turns out. Friend, what else did you watch?
I watched, I've been keeping up with Southern Hospitality, which I really am enjoying. The Valley, which I'm not enjoying so much. Below Deck Down Under, which is, I can't remember a damn thing that happens, but I'm entertained every time I watch it. And then I spent last week with my family, and my aunt suggested that I watch this documentary called Dinosaur 13. It's about the most complete T-Rex set of bones they've ever found, 90% complete, but it involves all this stuff of like anthropologists and lawsuits and the FBI and jail time and a Christie's auction. And like, it's just not like a dinosaur bone story. It starts with anthropologists with their like little brushes, going through sand and dirt and stuff. And it becomes this like gigantic, dramatic, like epic, weird thing. And it all culminated in all of us going to see these dinosaur bones on display at the Natural History Museum in Chicago. So it was a great full circle event. But it really is a great documentary. It does not, it sounds like a PBS snooze, but it's literally like, what? It goes everywhere. So Dinosaur 13, there you go. How about you? What did you watch this week?
Let's see. I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I watched the last part of the reunion and it was just, it's so frustrating. I can't stand Kyle. I can't stand Dorit. They both make me insane. And, Amanda, whatever. What a waste of a season, in my opinion, honestly. Watched Saturday Night Live with Matt Damon. And then I've been watching basketball. I've been watching the Lakers play, and I can't believe I keep forgetting to bring it up. And so I watched them, get eliminated from the playoffs. And it sucks, but now I'll just keep watching other basketball until October. I'm going to watch the rest. I'm going to, dip in and out of these last games up until the finals, and then next year, baby.
There's always next year.
There's always next year. It's only what, 6 months till October, 5 months till October. Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Bigger and better. Anyway, friend, what was your antidepressant?
My antidepressant was this family time that I had in Chicago. We were there for my niece's graduation. And, just like therapy wise, we're about a decade ago, we sort of launched into a new family era, being a bit of a modern family. And it has taken the better part of that decade. Like, we have not hung out like seamlessly in the past. It's been tense or there's been conflict and whatever. And it took us all those experiments where we, missed the target by lots and lots to finally make our way. Like this week was really exquisite. We found the perfect balance of hanging out and not hanging out, and kids getting time with the people that they wanted time with in ways that everybody was fine with. Like it was really lovely. We kind of nailed it, and it was a very happy weekend. And I just will never be able to say it enough. Like I cannot get enough of my niece and nephews. Like they are the best things that have ever happened. And like I would take any level of family drama to like hit the jackpot I did by being like I was graced to be their aunt. Like this was not a job I applied for. I just fucking lucked into this shit. And they are so fun and so smart and so cute and so hilarious and so like full of life in every way. All the big feelings, highs, lows, everything. And man, it was just so good to be around them. I'm just the luckiest. It was really, I felt very lucky last week. So that is a big antidepressant.
Oh, I love that.
Too. And how about you? What was your antidepressant?
I worked with ketamine last night, and it was fucking hooked a sister up. It just continues to blow my mind how just immediate the shifts can happen. Like while I'm on the medicine, headphones on, eye mask on, like, okay, seeing the truth. It dissolves my ego on impact. Like as soon as it starts running through my blood, I'm like, okay, I see, here we go. I see the truth. I see it. And, I'm very appreciative. I'm very appreciative to this medicine and the other psychedelic medicines I work with all the time, every day. Yeah. And I started working out again last week and this week with my trainer. It's a long story. I'm not going to share. I'm not going to get into that. My point is that like, I thought about what you said, starting off your day with a vigorous workout has really helped. And I'm waiting for those benefits to kick in. Like the best I can do right now is that like, I'm glad I'm out with clothes on and I'm not home isolating, wondering what the fuck to do with my day. I did something. But like, I have yet to feel the like, the endorphins or the whatever. And it's like, and I'm sweating weights, like with a trainer, like I'm doing the thing that my physicians meant, and my therapists and my psychiatrists are like telling me to do. And I'm like, okay, but I have faith it'll kick in, going for some walks on the days even on the days that I do work out, I'm going for walks. So I'm showing up, even though I'm acting as if until like oh my God, I know a workout's going to make me feel better.
I mean,
because right now I'm not there yet.
yeah.
And I'm like, where's this bullshit? But I know that if I want to, I know what I need to do. I know I need to like feed myself in a way that is healing, sleep in a way that's healing, hydrate myself in a way that's healing, and move my body in a way that's healing. And demand, what do they call it in ADHD? Demand intolerance or something like that. Has how I've looked at working out. But I also know that if I want my mental health to be in a place that I don't feel like it's in right now, I've got to do all the things And so I'm showing up to do it. But so far, I'm still like, all right, what you got, workout? There was a time when it really did used to like make me feel great. And now I'm just like, okay, well, I got out of the house. I left the house.
That's actually a huge deal. Like you
I
shrug
guess
that
it
off.
just doesn't
Like,
feel very big.
well, I mean, it builds on itself and it's training.
It will.
It's like, it's not like you show up and you're trained and it's over,
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
whenever I shared about this is 5 months in to consistently doing this shit. And it's not like I felt like jazzed about working out. I just noticed one day, like I'm standing up straighter without having to think about it. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that means muscles. Oh, that means something in the last 4 months took. I'm not having to correct my posture to stand up straight. I noticed that I was standing up straight and I was like, that's great. And it took a really long time. And I certainly didn't notice it happening, but it was cool one day to notice I was like out walking the dog or something and being like, oh, look at you. You're not hunched. Normally around here is when you have to straighten yourself up so you don't look like a question mark.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it'll come. I have faith.
I mean,
And if it doesn't, oh well, I'm doing it anyway.
the only thing you do perfectly is keep coming back.
That's exactly
That's
what
it.
I'm doing.
There you
That's
go.
exactly what I'm doing. Friend, I am so glad that you're back. I can't even tell you.
Yay.
I'm thrilled.
Just
Thrilled.
thrown into the fucking muck and mire of
Yeah,
the
dude.
close of summer 2025 with these weirdos.
Seriously.
Hooray.
Oh, I love you so much. Everyone, take care of yourselves, whatever your list looks like. Getting out of the house. Getting out of the house counts. Yep.
It does.
Anyway.
That was
No, it does.
one of my
It
therapist's
does.
first instructions of like, go get your coffee somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
you're forced to interact, you're forced to like,
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I agree. All right, everybody. We will be back next week with the finale
Yay.
of Summer House.
We'll talk
Season
next
10.
week.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ramona and Margie are obviously not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.